lockdown. It's such a grim forecast for the Indian economy that the RBI even refused to give the growth projection. And the central bank is not alone. From Moody's to Goldman Sachs to the IMF, the predictions are of a gloom and doom. While Moody's Investor Service has slashed India's growth to 2.5% from 5.3% for 2020, Goldman Sachs has cut India's FY21 real GDP to 1.6% from 3.3%. But these figures might even deteriorate further if the Modi government is forced to extend the lockdown. Will India be able to overcome the current crisis the way it did back in 2008? Well, according to the former RBI Governor Raghuram Rajan, Indian economy is facing the greatest emergency since independence. The reason behind this is that the decade-old recession was overcome eventually because businesses kept running, unlike now, when all business activities have come to a standstill. The chief economist of IMF, Geeta Gopinath, wrote in a blog post that the reluctance on part of consumers and businesses to spend has resulted in subdued demand. Further, the businesses in India are dealing with a supply shock, and this will cause a production slowdown, as procuring raw materials for manufacturing of even essential goods and transportation faces serious obstacles. Sectors impacted by lockdowns. Moody's cautioned that scarcity of resources to support businesses will amplify the corona-induced shock in emerging economies such as India. Agriculture sector that contributes nearly $265 billion to GDP and employs 60% of the country's workforce is to get severely impacted. The outbreak has happened at a critical time when the crop is ready to be harvested and then sold. The absence of labor force to cut the crop and transportation problems will have serious implications on the rural economy in India for months to come. Other sectors that are getting severely affected due to the pandemic includes real estate, banking, and automobiles. Lockdown has worsened the struggle of the real estate sector, which the real estate sector was the worst hit sector post the US financial crisis of 2008. The subprime mess saw home prices fall by almost 25% in certain markets. Sales activity slowed down by almost 30%. Distressed sales were common and housing loans shot up from 7% to 12%. Job cuts and defaults on loan payments also increased. Confidence levels dropped and house purchase plans were put on the back burner. Demonetization in the year 2016 further dashed any hopes of any signs of recovery. And over the last 4 years, however, we've seen that there were several positives coming to the aid of the sector. Approval of the GST bill, the amendments to the REITs, incentives for affordable housing and the falling interest rates, and finally, a resolution for the default projects as well. Many had been looking forward to the year 2020 to finally see the return of buyers for commercial and housing properties, given the government incentives. However, considering the current scenario of COVID-19 and the pandemic, even when the lockdown is over, the economy is going to take a sharp hit, so much so that the top brokerage houses are also expecting a GDP contraction. Now, a 2 consecutive quarter of degrowth in GDP could actually push India into recession, and this could spell the worst for the realty sector. Already due to the lockdown, construction activity has come to a standstill. Home buyers' footfalls and site visits have also come to a halt. Sales are down by almost 80%. An MHCI CREDAI report has said residential bookings in February-March saw a drop of 78% from January. New launches planned in April to May 2020 will be pushed back till at least September 2020 to coincide with the festive season. Anarock Research has also pointed out that in 2020, new launches likely to register an annual decline to the tune of 25 to 30%. Any extended spell of social distancing owing to COVID-19 may also lead to cash flow management issues. Fall in collections from home buyers in the ongoing projects also may lead to delays. As per Lysis Forus, the delays due to coronavirus may also extend to 6 months or more. Now, being declared as a national disaster, even RERA will be ineffective in getting home buyers to recover any penalties. According to Anarock Research, nearly 4.7 lakh units across top 7 cities of India were likely to complete in 2020, and these face a high risk of being delayed to the later year. Now, property prices too may come down by 10 to 20% across geographies, while land prices may reduce by 30% as per Lysis Forus. Realty sector, one of the largest employment generators, may also be staring at a number of job losses owing to an overall economic slowdown or a possible recession. For people who have already bought a house and were waiting for its possession, you may need to prepare for a delay. While if you were planning to buy one, experts suggest that you must wait for things to settle down. In FY20, the automobiles could see its volumes decline by 15 to 16%. The slowdown in auto and real estate sectors will directly impact steel manufacturing industry. Steel factories are running at a low utilization due to shortage of staffs. Banking sector may suffer the consequences of a buildup of bad loans. According to Moody's, the RBI's guidelines permitting banks and NBFCs to grant a 3-month moratorium on loan payments will soften the negative credit impact that the corona crisis has had on their borrowers in the near term. How coronavirus pandemic-induced economic slowdown will directly impact masses? CII conducted a snap poll on 200 chief executives across India, in which most of them voiced their concern that their revenues will fall by at least 10%. 52% of the participating chief executives anticipate job losses in their respective sectors. The unemployment rates were already at a 45-year high before the outbreak, and since the outbreak, the rate of unemployment has further increased. From January 2020 to March 2020, overall unemployment has increased from 7.16% to 8.74%. What measures can be taken to soften the blow? IMF chief economist Geeta Gopinath says that the central banks around the world should be prepared to provide ample liquidity to NBFCs and banks. She also highlighted that government could offer temporary and targeted credit guarantees to help firms struggling with liquidity. Raghuram Rajan suggested that targeted aid should be provided to already weakened small and medium enterprises. To mitigate any risk to the most vulnerable and those living on the margins, Nobel laureate Abhijit Banerjee suggested direct cash transfers. What can Indian government do for the economic damage control? Relax dates of filing taxes? Immediately start releasing the refunds. Bailout packages for bankrupted sectors. Handhold industries. Rearrange supply chains. Worst crisis since the Great Depression. The most concerning part is that there will not be a single economy that can escape from the clutches of this slowdown. IMF chief Kristalina Georgieva didn't mince any words when she said that the world is facing its worst crisis since the Great Depression. Is the Indian economic situation better than the other countries? There is a possibility that the Indian economy could fare better than other countries. India is less dependent on exports, which means that the country won't suffer a shock if globalization is put on a reverse gear and new trade barriers are being put in place. India's biggest import is crude oil, plummeted prices of which has played a critical role in saving India from an external shock. Meanwhile, ratings agencies across the world expect the global economy to sink into recession. The extent of the slowdown on the Indian economy will depend on the economic response to the crisis in the coming days. A lot of economy pundits are expecting a V-shaped economic recovery, where a sharp decline will be followed by a sharp rise. The caveat here is that there could be a prolonged period of decline even after lift